The Icons of Real Estate Podcast. Are you ready to learn the proven money-making secrets from top-producing icon agents? Ready to skyrocket your business? This podcast is for you. Tune in every week with your host, Tomasz Fonseca, and find out how to implement proven strategies to 10 times your business, from $3 million to $30 million in just 12 months. Brought to you by the Masters at Real Estate Marketing, Ardor SEO.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Icons of Real Estate podcast. With us today, we have Terry Trexler. He's a top 1% influencer, an icon agent, running a team that covers 12 states and growing, and now coaches other agents that want to be successful and helps them transform their business by putting the real into real estate. And now we're putting the real also in the icons of real estate. So welcome to the show, Terry.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure, my pleasure. So let's kickstart this real episode with your real estate journey. Please do tell.
This could take a little bit. I'll try and make it short though. So I've been licensed now for about 20 years. Funny story though, is that both my parents did real estate in two different markets. I grew up with my mom, and my dad did it in Pennsylvania. Mom did it in Virginia. So I never wanted to do it because I grew up in a real estate office. If I wanted to go with dad or be with mom, I was always in a real estate office. So when I was getting out of school, I decided I was going to join the military. So I joined the Marine Corps and didn't want anything to do with real estate. Got out, got a job, or had 6 years in the Marine Corps, got out, took a job for a year or two. Then my mom sold me my first place, and I realized she got paid for it. I saw the statement. I saw she made a few $1,000s, and I was like, wait a second, you kind of let me in, kind of answered some questions. She says, yeah, that's what I've been trying to tell you for years. And since that was back in 2002, it's now 2022. So yeah, been 20 years. And then once I got into real estate, I thought I knew a lot. I jumped in, tried to go to a company where I got all the commission, that sounded great. What a lot of people do, the 100% commission places. Realized I didn't know much. I just had two parents that knew a lot. And then, basically I went through that whole journey that everybody does, trying to figure things out myself, struggling, jumping companies. Then I joined a team, which was probably one of the best decisions I ever made. So I got to be inside of a team, a successful team, actually seeing how it worked. And then I went out on my own after that. And then it kept being successful. Market collapsed in 2007. I went through buying properties and flipping properties, had a bunch of properties, and when the market collapsed, so did everything I worked for. And I didn't plan for a rainy day because I had made more money than I ever thought I would at 30. And when things collapsed, they collapsed hard and lost everything. Started to rebuild, and I said, you know what, I'm going to own my own brokerage, and then open my own brokerage. And then I was like, wait a second, there has to be a better way because this is horrible. I don't know who wants to own their own brokerage. Drama, headaches, problems, and then a lot of liability. And then I came across EXP, and man, it checked all the boxes and then some. And I told myself, I said, if this is what they say it is, this is going to change everything. And long story short, it has changed everything. Not only for like my life, my family's life, my kids' life, but for thousands and now tens of thousands of people, I'd say across the US, but internationally now in 22 countries, I believe. And it keeps changing people and keeps changing lives and families. And it's been a blessing, an understatement, a life changer. But that's the short version. So that's my story, my quick story. So, but we can dig into it. Whatever you got, you tell me. I'm open.
For sure. I'll take that version. But yeah, so you joined EXP in what year?
Well, I didn't mention this, but I joined EXP back in 2011 to start with. Yeah, exactly. Anytime I say that, people are like, whoa, wait. But here's the thing. I joined EXP in 2011. And then I was here for about 3 months, and then my dad ended up getting sick. He passed away. And then I was like, I need to open up Trexler Real Estate because my dad always had Trexler Real Estate, always wanted me to go to Pennsylvania and take it over. Again, never wanted to do that. And then when he was passing away, I was like, I'm going to start Trexler Real Estate. So I left EXP after 3 months and started Trexler Real Estate. And now in hindsight, it's the worst decision I ever made, right? Because everybody knows that what it's become. But, you know, so I processed his passing. And then in 2016, I started taking another hard look at it. So I spent 5 years doing my own thing with my own brokerage. And I was like, there's got to be a better way. I mean, I'm doing this to kind of so-called honor my dad, but at the same time, why am I doing this from a business standpoint? And then, so 2016, I started taking a hard look at EXP again. Now they had stock, which they didn't have before. And I was like, okay, well, the rest of the model looks good. And they've added some things to it and some big names have come over. So when I first joined, there was about 120 agents. When I came back, I was like, wait, they grew to 2,000 agents. They've done something. They're doing well. So when I came back, it was 2017 and they had gotten up to like 2,400, 2,500 agents. And then since then, now it's been, how long has it been? 5, almost 6 years. Yeah. So I've got to see it this time around go from 2,400 or so agents up to 82,000. So yeah, and I've been here consistent. It's, you know, it's the longest I've been in any one company in 20 years because I've always found something I don't like, or something needs to be better, or something shinier. But you know, the one thing EXP they don't stand by. They haven't stood by to kind of just say, okay, we've got good stuff, you know, like a lot of companies. It's the way we've always done it. If anything, they push the envelope and make you uncomfortable. They make the company get uncomfortable. And, you know, there's growing pains. And now you like growing pains, you got 82,000, you know, how's there growing pains 82,000? Well, because we have, last numbers I looked at, there was about, I don't know, 1,300 a week joining. And yeah, it's tough to keep up with that, even for EXP, you know? So, but outside of that, once you're in, you're in. And it's been completely, like I said, life-changing. So
yeah, and you're talking about so you created your own brokerage because it was one of your dad's wishes, right? Trexler Real Estate, and you're wanting to join another brokerage, whether if that like in honor of your dad, if you would harm that in any other way. But I think you can still kind of continue Trexler Real Estate while associated with EXP Realty, right?
Yeah. And see, that's the awesome thing about it. You know, no one loses their brand. We've had, you know, I came over, I was really just me, another agent kind of doing our own thing, but it still was complicated because I had to do everything myself. I mean, everything was my responsibility. You know, if someone had a question, if there was a problem, I was the tech support, I was the marketer, I was the insurer, I was the everything, the lead generator. There was every hat. And people think that that's the way to go. But once you plug into something that has everything for you, it's amazing. And, you know, now I still do have Trexler Real Estate. It's just Trexler Real Estate brokered by EXP in the fine print. Because as long as, you know, EXP lets people do what they want as long as it follows the law. And if it follows the state law or the country law, now that we're in different countries, we're good with it. So like times that I was, you know, when I was at Remax, their signs are all the same. You've got to have that red, white, blue, and and then other companies have certain guidelines that you have to follow to where the company stands out. You know, people get business cards and they're like, well, I have to have the company logo bigger than everything. Really? Well, then that should tell you right there who it's about. You know, it's not about the agent. You know, if the company's telling you what color and what size and what everything how to market yourself and how to design things and it's about the company, you know, and that's where, again, EXP kind of sets itself apart because we can run our own brands, you know, and that gives all these other broker owners and team leaders, they can run with their brand, you know, they just need to follow the guidelines of their state or country and they're golden. So, I mean, you don't lose anything by coming over. I mean, if anything, you gain so incredibly much. But yeah, run with your brand. You can be yourself. You can grow it. And then you can literally put your own brand in a different state or a different country overnight just by finding the right person. And one thing that happened recently too, and maybe since we talked last, now I've grown myself into New Zealand, which is halfway around the world, but I'm there now, and it's because of EXP. There's no other way on this planet I would have grown my business into New Zealand. Another MLS is one thing, another state is another thing, but another country,
another continent.
Yeah, another continent, another country. It just doesn't happen in anybody else's business model. But here it does. So keep your brand. That's a great thing.
So tell us. So you're starting. You say you're growing a business to New Zealand. So you signed a new agent there. Like, how did you find that new agent? How did you create this relationship?
Yeah. So basically, because I do a lot on social media. When I first got into real estate, it was as more of an investor, and I would do pay-per-click in the early 2000s, which there wasn't many. There was no Zillow. I don't think there was a realtor.com. There was none of these. There was none of these big companies out there doing it. So when I said I know how to do pay-per-click back then, it was super easy, not competitive. It was like the holy grail because I could just generate leads all day and stay home. I didn't have to do anything. Now over time it's gotten to where, everybody's in on that. And I don't even pretend to keep up with the people that have tens or hundreds of millions of dollars pushing at the big engine like a Zillow does or anything like that. But, the fact is that back then it was super easy. So it grew from pay-per-click and advertising, now marketing, to now social media. There was Facebook's been around a long time, Instagram after that, and now TikTok, LinkedIn, all these companies. But just by talking a lot and putting out good content to these different platforms, I have people ask me questions and want to connect at times. So this one came from LinkedIn, so he reached out, he responded to something I asked him about because I saw someone that seemed like we'd have a lot in common with. And I reached out and said, hey, I love what you're doing. I think it's amazing. I'd love to chat sometime and see what it's like in New Zealand. How's business? And over several months' time, it just became a conversation. He's like, wait a second. So you're saying, and then at that time, EXP was going into New Zealand, and he's like, so tell me more about this. So I'm like, okay, you asked, because it didn't come from a spam. It didn't come from anything like that people do. Sometimes it's not that it goes against what EXP stands for. It was just a general conversation. And like I said, it took several months. He asked. And then when he did ask, we started walking through it. And then we weren't even in the country yet. And then I started introducing him to other people that have went into different countries that were before him. And he started meeting other people in the UK and South Africa and and he started asking the questions. And, some I didn't necessarily know because, this was my first international added agent. So as he asked, I said, you know what, let's connect, let's connect you with the VP of growth. Let's connect you with the person that brought the UK, Adam, to the group, and let's bring it here. And just over time, he's like, you know what? He says, this would be crazy for me not to do it. Because what I have found, without knowing all the different models of all the different countries, is that so many countries are used to getting 30, 40, 50% of what the gross commission is. And EXP starts you off at 80. And some people are like, well, I started at 100, but you don't have what we have. You don't have what we have, because a company has to take something to build with. It has to make some money. But yeah, so that was just a conversation that I had, and it was from LinkedIn, and but I talked to people on Instagram, I talked to people on TikTok, I talked to people on YouTube. But you got to just grow your footprint, because EXP is great, but people want to do business with people they know, not just somebody that they've never met or talked to, and definitely not someone that spams them. So that's a big thing. But yeah, it's a lot of my stuff just comes from social media at this point. Yeah.
Nice. And yeah, and I know that you like social media. As you created like a blueprint around it, right? Told me about the lead poly. Do you want to
Oh, like
explain?
Leadopoly. Yeah,
Leadopoly,
Leadopoly.
sorry.
Yeah, it's a
But
little play on Monopoly.
yeah, I
But yeah,
understand.
so I came across something. I was like, hey, everyone's always talking about leads and leads and leads. And, I always loved Monopoly growing up. I still like Monopoly today. You get to play real estate investor without the cash, but it's fun to play. I got 4 kids. So having 4 kids, it's a fun game to do. But then I was like, oh my God, what about Leadopoly? And then I searched out the .com, got my hands on that. Because I buy and flip domains too at times. So I buy a bunch of domain names, and I created Leadopoly, and now it's a resource for people that can go to, and they can go to leadopoly.com, and they can basically get a blueprint. And then after that blueprint, they can take it another step, and they can get more details. And then there's even a course inside of there that people can get to, and it kind of shows them, leads are easy now. Leads used to be the holy grail. But now I can generate as many leads as I want on any given day, just about, or any given, someone wants 100 leads a month. Great. Here you go. But the leads are easy. Now it's just, you really got to get the appointments. You got to get face to face. And that's where the market is trying to change again, because, it's not just about having leads. You have to work the leads, whether you're the individual agent working the leads, or there's a system where you have a inside sales agent, or an ISA as they're called, calling leads around the clock, trying to set appointments. But created Leadopoly as a play on Monopoly to help other agents generate leads. It's about just at this point giving it back to others, giving it back. So yeah.
Okay. But there's no way in Leadopoly that you can get in jail or something like that.
Yeah, you can't go to jail. You can't go to jail, so there's no jail there. You just learn to generate leads on your social media. And I'm working on some other things, other types of websites and funnels to help just share everything that I've been through in the last 20 years that can help save people time and money, for that matter. But yeah, it's there's so much awesome content from so many people that I'm just taking bits and pieces from everybody and learning from everybody still to this day, and then packaging it up and putting it out there for others. So yeah, it's been good.
Yeah, but I know what you mean, Terry. It's not about like generating leads anymore, because it's also have to do with the quality of the lead or not, because you can generate as much leads as you want, but if they're all shitty leads, might as well only generate one quality one, right? And the other thing is about the lead conversion. Like how is your conversion from lead to client, or even if you want to grow your team, from lead to agent, if you want to sell your house, from lead to customer, so what activities or what efforts do you have on improving your lead conversion?
Yeah, so with me, I have this big thing, and like you said, it's the whole I believe in creating real relationships. So a lot of people will talk about, it's all about the relationship. It's all about the relationship. And people sometimes get that twisted up because they want to talk about, oh, but I have a business relationship here and a personal relationship here and a something relationship here. And I'm like, you just make it a real relationship. And by that, I'm just trying to, again, like you said in the beginning, make it real. Mm-hmm. So, sure, we can all market and generate tons of leads. Like, it is what it is. I mean, there's so many leads, and if you guys are generating leads and I'm generating leads and so is everybody else, we all might get a lot of the same leads, because consumers go to multiple websites, right? They're going all over the place thinking that they're going to find a different house on someone else's website. But at the end of the day, you gotta make it real and personable to people, because what I've been trying to get at and help people with now is, so many people have gotten oh, what's the next tech thing to come out? How am I going to automate this? How am I going to automate that? But 20 years ago, especially 25, 30 years ago, there was no automation of anything. There was barely a cell phone out there, right? Mm-hmm. So over time, there was no technology. And then when technology came in, people embraced it. It made sense. Oh my God, there's a cell phone in your car. Oh my God, there's a website. I have this, and technology started to help agents, and more technology. But the more the technology took off, the human interaction started going down.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit, and now the human interaction was like, whew, it all just stopped. And now people are coming out of that, and people are craving the human connection. You know, even if me and you are on this Zoom right now, it's still more of a human connection than you sending me a text or an email or whatever the case may be. We get to talk to each other in real time. And a lot of people I know, clients, other realtors, business owners, just employees, during COVID, they kind of shrunk up and almost went into some of them went to a little box, even some really great, nice, personable people. But now everyone's craving that. So what I do is I try and I'm not trying to sell anybody. If it's a lead off of a website, I'm like, hey, just trying to be a resource. I saw you hit the site. You have any questions? Nope. Okay. I'm not trying to run a script. I'm not trying to do anything like that with anybody. For one, I'm sure you get the same phone calls I do, spam calls all day, all day long. We're getting spam, and I haven't met anybody yet that's like, oh, I signed up for this great new thing of a spam call. Because someone starts reading that script, you're like, click, you're not even listening to me and you're reading the script. So for one, any new leads where I don't know you, I'm just a resource. People can say, well, you've got to try and do this. And you've got to try. If they hit the website, they don't want to talk. They're busy. I'll try them another day. The only thing I ever finish that conversation with, is it okay if I just stay in touch with you? Yeah, sure. Stay in touch. And that one little line right there means the world, because now you have permission to stay in touch. Anything else? Okay, let me know if you need anything. They're not going to let you know. They're going to go to the next person, So just that one little line, they've given me permission to stay in touch. So now I can drip on them for have a great summer, school's back in, happy Father's Day. Any of these things, they've given me permission to stay in touch until they take it away. So I stay in touch. And the same thing applies for the people I do know. So there's people I don't know, there's people I do know. And then of course, the people I do know personally, they're hearing from me on Father's Day, my tighter circle of people. I can market to people through newsletters, just to put in their mailbox. A lot of people don't get mail anymore. So not personal, we all get bills, so who wants a bill? But so I stay in touch in people's mailbox. I stay in touch on social media. I stay in touch through text and phone calls, video messages, because now that separates me from just that text. Happy Father's Day or happy this day. I might do a video message sometimes. And then I have a third group, and that is my sphere of influence. That is like my tightest group of people that there are. And with those people, sometimes I'll send out discounts. I'll send out, gifts, or I'll drop gifts by sometimes. And in the real estate world, they call them pop buys. I guess it's probably in other businesses too, but, create that little gadgety gift to drop by and just tell them you're thinking about them. It's not that, would you like to buy or sell a house today? Who do you know? Nobody cares. But make it real, make a good connection, and create the realness of a good relationship, and people are going to refer you. So 99.9% of my business is referral based at this point. And that means my real estate business, as well as growing my business through attracting other agents or people that want to get into real estate. 99% of it all is all referrals, which is a great place to be. So yeah, that's my whole business in a box. I mean, there's no secret to it. I tell people all the time, it takes work, so don't get in real estate thinking you're going to be a millionaire overnight. But if you treat people right and you keep it real, your business has no option but to grow. So yeah, that's kind of my business. Yeah.
Nice. And I just want to touch on what you said about the permission. And a lot of agents don't use this. And this is actually a concept created by Seth Godin in 1999. This is like 23 years ago. Like, he released the book. I don't know if you ever heard, but it's actually called like Permission Marketing. turning stranger into friends and friends into customers, something like that.
Okay.
And this is a concept that has been out there even before social media, so like if people are not doing this, right now, it's just ridiculous, like if they just dropped their whole pitch in one message and they're wondering why they get a reply instead of just saying like, how are you, or something like that, or asking the permission, because that's almost legal obliged as for now in terms of the GDPR. Yeah, I just wanted to drop that off because I read the book last year and it was crazy how this was written in 1999.
Yeah, no, and he was definitely ahead of it, because I mean, and it could have, whatever I got it from, it could have come from him or someone that read that. And that's the beauty in it, because all the answers are out there for all of us. We've just got to find them, but they're not in a secret spot. They're not in a $1,000 a month, Zillow ad. They're not in a $2,000, $3,000 a month product over here that just came out yesterday. The secrets are right there for you and me. And you could buy a book for $10 or $20. And guess what? You got all the answers. There is no secret. Even me and you talking right now, this is everything. So is there a way to generate more leads? Sure. But as you said, and I said, it's not about just the leads. You've got to talk to the people. You've got to become more human, and not just, because even people have been smart about automated, it started off as automated email drips, right? And people ignore them. They've gotten cold to that. Now people are starting to realize that those automated texts that go out, they're like, okay, stop,
Yeah, click stop if you want.
Yeah. So, even when I've texted people personally, I've gotten a stop message because they don't know me. And I'm like, this is really me. This is really me. They're like, oh, I'm so sorry. I said, it's okay if I just pick up the phone. They're like, sometimes they may say no, but sometimes like, yeah, please call me. I'd rather do that. Okay. Yeah. And I grab the phone and we start talking and have a good conversation. But yeah, that's everything, man. That's how it rolls. That's how I try and keep it going in the right direction. So yeah.
Nice, Terry. So tell me, where do you go from here? What are your goals? I know we are mid 2022, but if you can tell us a bit about this year and then the more upcoming long term.
Okay, sure. My goals are huge at this point, because I went from thinking that I had to just, be a great realtor in my hometown and then grow a team and own my own brokerage. And I went through all that. And that's not the answer. The real estate market is so much bigger, in the world, just people, is so much bigger than just owning your home city or your hometown or even in your own state. Now with the help of the EXP model, my mind is like all over. It's all over the world. I'm like, who knows who in Japan? Who knows who in China? Who knows who, and that's where like the guy that's partnered up with me now in New Zealand, we're like, okay, who do you know in Australia? He's like, I do know some people in Australia and I have some friends in London because I grew up there. I'm like, great, let's chat. Let's get on a call. And, and it's not even about just, as we grow our business, we get to grow internationally. It's no longer, like when I owned Trexler Real Estate 10 years ago or 7 years ago or whatever, I was always looking at my little hometown, and I say little, there's probably 500,000 people in my city. And then there's probably, or close to 500,000. And there's probably 1.5 million in my geographic region I can help. But now I'm so thinking far past that I'm like, who can I help overseas? And now I'm thinking about growing my business in different continents, not different cities, different continents. And if I find and partner up with the right people, I can help them grow their business in different continents. And by helping them, the model that we're in rewards me. It doesn't come out of their check. They don't pay me for this, but I know how it works and I'm learning from those above me. So, I'm looking at the rock stars that have a business in every continent, and I'm learning from them. And the ones that have their business, they're not even the broker, but they have a business in 20 different countries. I'm learning from them So my goals, they're huge. I want to have someone in every country that EXP is in,
Nice.
and as we grow that, trying to keep up with EXP is tough because now we've got 82,000 people trying to bring in different countries, and we got a few countries coming in this quarter and next quarter and the next quarter. And, we're all just trying to grow our business, but we're not doing it by ourselves. I've got the help of people that have done it before me. That's the one big pitfall of every franchise out there, and not picking on any one franchise, but every franchise, because you don't know what the franchise is doing down the street. You don't know their splits or their caps, and you definitely don't know what the franchises are doing in other countries, but EXP stays true to their model, and what it is. Now, with currency conversion and things, it gets a little more complicated, but the same basic model of how we're set up and the tools that are offered, it's everywhere. So I don't necessarily need to know every franchise model, especially in the US. Like, it's all the same. And then when we venture out, it's just a phone call away, but we all get to collaborate. So my goals, I definitely want to hit every country that EXP is in as we grow this. I want to help others. If I can, my goal is I want to bring on 1,000. I want to have 1,000 people, not only just 1,000 people, but 1,000 people, that are making residuals that change their life. I want to change 1,000 people's life. And if I can get 1,000 people that are making $100,000, $200,000 residually, not just making it, but life changing, where they don't have to think about college for their kids or taking that vacation, or, what am I going to do with my client? I just lost a deal and now I can't pay my mortgage. To get all those worries off the table, because that's what EXP's done for me. EXP has taken absolutely every worry I've had, or I used to have, about a mortgage or income or anything. I mean, they've basically, the way it's set up is given me everything I've ever wanted, as far as physically, materially, emotionally. The support and the people here are through the roof, ready to help, because we all win. We all win when we help each other. And people talk about culture. Some people just throw that around to throw it around. Just because you take me out to eat, just because you might take me on a vacation once a year, because I did a lot of business, I'd rather you give me income that I get to decide where I'm going, how I'm doing it, how I'm paying for college, how I'm doing this, because we all got different goals. Some people want to give it to their church. Some people want to give it to wounded warriors. Some people want to, go gamble their money and take cruises and vacations, whatever they want to do. But I mean, I kind of fall into all those categories. I want to give it to others. I'm a huge proponent of the military, because I spent 6 years in. My dad was in Vietnam. My grandfather was at Pearl Harbor when it got bombed. So the military is a huge thing to me. So I want to give back to the military, because I also run a program called Heroes Homes for them. And then, I have a kid going to college this year. He just graduated Saturday. So that's another thing. Yeah, thanks, man. We had a graduation party, and then we had Father's Day. So awesome weekend we had.
Nice.
But I don't have to worry about those things no more. I don't have to worry about college. I don't have to worry about my house payment. I don't have to worry none of that stuff. And then I'm going on an Alaskan cruise in 2 days. Nice. So on Wednesday, I'm going on an Alaskan cruise, and I'm not even thinking about real estate. Any other time at any other company, I'd be worried. I'd wonder what was happening next, or, oh, I'm going to miss this, or I'm going to miss that. But I have people that step up and they're like, yeah, I'll help you out. Great. Thanks. And then I can check out, people, not to talk too much, but people in real estate always get twisted up, and they're like, oh, you've got to answer your phone every time. And I'm like, no, you don't. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. When you're starting out, I get it. Sure, do that. But if someone shows you the right way, and you've been doing this in your business for a few years, you can progress out of answering your phone all the time. Mine stays on mute. I don't answer my phone. If you want to leave me a message, but text me, call me, but I'll get back to you when I can get back to you. And that's just what it's allowed. So if I can grow my business into that and help 1,000 people, change their life and their trajectory for them and their families, that's winning. But I know as soon as I get close to that, that's going to change to 2,000, to 5,000, to 10,000, you know, because, you know, my residuals are nice. I mean, I don't have to worry about commission checks. I still sell, like you said, still Icon, but you know, the way that EXP, the model is with what they've done is mind blowing. And if Glenn Sanford watches this, thank you, Glenn. He's the founder of EXP. And I've had a chance to meet him a few times. Got to go to his birthday party last year. So he's changed so many people's lives, and then which has allowed us to change others' lives. So yeah, it's been good, but that's my goal, just to keep helping others, help as many people as I can check out and retire if they so choose.
Amazing. So tell me, if someone's from South Africa is listening to this podcast right now, how would they get in touch with you? Of course, South Africa.
Okay.
Just
yeah, sure. So yeah, so if you're in South Africa, if you're anywhere, you know, if you're talking to somebody, go ahead, talk to them. But if you want a second opinion, or if you need a first opinion on it and you haven't talked to anybody, you can find me, you know, just type in Terry Trexler. It's Terry, and I'm sure it'll be on the screen somewhere at some point, but TerryTrexler.com. But if you go there, just Google my name. It's the same thing. You can find me Instagram.com/ LinkedIn.com/ it's all universal. I keep it all the same. But yeah, I keep it there for simplicity, because every time a new platform comes out, I get my extension with Terry Trexler, and you can always book a call with me at TerryTrexler.com too. And I'm happy to chat. Even if maybe you're already with EXP, it doesn't matter, you know, just book a call and I'll hop on and I'll chat with you. Maybe not while I'm in Alaska, but I'll chat with you. But yeah, find me no matter where you're at, if you want to get into real estate, you know, I help people get into real estate. I'm an instructor as well. But yeah, if you just need some guidance, some free guidance, hit me up. I'm an open book, but find me, send me a message and we'll connect. I'd love connecting with people and just helping other people. So that's my jam. That's my jam. So yeah.
Thank you, Terry, and thank you for bringing that gem here on the Icons of Real Estate podcast. I sure did enjoyed myself, and yeah, have a good one. Awesome. And we'll keep in touch, I guess.
No, I hope so. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me. And thanks for anybody that might've tuned into this, and, you know, thanks for the opportunity to share my story and maybe help some more people. I do appreciate it. So Perfect. Have yourself an awesome day too, man.
Thank you.
All right. Take care. All right. Later.